Good chefs, we are going to update all the information we know about KIBBLES feed croquettes as you know them here in ARK Ultimate Mobile Edition, since we now have 6 different classifications for the kibble, this being the basic kibble, simple, regular, superior, exceptional, and extraordinary. These new kibbles not only update recipes but also have hidden uses, but we will get to that further. Next, so let's break down what it is and what it is for. A kibale is a prepared food that dinosaurs prefer to eat above other things, just as you can guess. Carnivores will prefer kibale over prime beef or prime lamb. And herbivores will prefer kibble over greens or vegetables, in turn making domestication faster. That's right, dear beast, because the dinosaurs you are going to take with kibbles usually have more taming efficiency, therefore more final levels. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And how we perform our kibble. Well, to do this, we will need a cauldron or, failing that, an industrial pot as well as multiple ingredients to manufacture the kebs in basic form. For everyone, we will use the following 3. 5 fiber, a skin at least 25% of its capacity with water and an egg. This may or may not be fertilized. Depending on the size of the egg you have, you will be able to make a kibble or another, since with this update the eggs come in sizes, these being extra small, small, medium large, extra large, and special. Let's stop talking and let's cook, but not before knowing where we will get the raw materials from. The extra small eggs are dropped by these creatures. Remember that for a female to lay more eggs than she should, you have to place a male next to her. This stimulates egg making, and remember that they can also be fertilized, so don't forget to put them in mating mode. If we mix an extra small egg, 1 cooked meat, 10 MR berries, 5 best berries, 10 tin berries, 5 fiber, and 1 water. We will get the basic kibble after waiting 30 seconds in the cauldron. This type of kibble is the easiest to produce, and these are the dinosaurs that prefer it. After using the water, don't forget to remove the container and refill it on a faucet to make more recipes again. For the next croquette, we will need at least 1 medium crop plot, since it will ask us for a vegetable and they find us wild. The following creatures are capable of dropping small eggs, these when mixed with fish meat. Cinado, 2 broken rocks, 5 best berries, 5 fiber and water. The simple kibble will drop us. After waiting 30 seconds of cooking, the recipes begin to get a little elaborate, but they bear fruit. And these are the dinosaurs that prefer plain kibble. For the next feed, we'll need the tin box. This one unlocks at level 18. It is manufactured from our inventory, and these are its materials, since we will occupy dried meat. And this is manufactured by placing the cooked meat in the tin box, oil and phosphorus so that it starts working. You will notice that this one is working because it comes out like a little smoke at the top. Now we will need a medium egg that is dropped by these creatures, and the mixture is as follows. You will add a medium-sized egg, 1 jerky, 2 logrets, 2 root flavors, 5 fiber, and 1 water. After stirring for 30 seconds, this will ruin a regular kibble for you, and these are the creatures that prefer this feed, but simply using jerky lengthens the recipe time a lot. You would make this kibble by increasing the complexity of the recipe. Now we are going to use prime jerky that is made exactly the same as jerky, only by adding cooked prime meat instead of cooked meat. We will also take up sap, and for this it will need to be at least level C. Since at this level the tree sap tap is unlocked, it is made from a blacksmith shop, and these are its materials. These sap taps can only be placed on the thick trunks of Red Bull trees. And you're only going to be able to place a maximum of 4 of these tubes for every one of these huge trees, and you're going to have to manage to empty these taps. We will make an expedition to the swamp exactly to look for this kind of peculiar trees, because we will also occupy rare mushrooms in the recipe. And these trees are the fastest way to get them. It doesn't matter what mount it comes with, as long as it can pick rare mushrooms without having to get you down. These dinos are capable of dropping large eggs that we will use for this recipe in the cauldron. We have a large egg, 1 prime jerky, 2 citronals, 1 sap, 2 rare mushrooms, 5 fiber, and 1 squirt of water. After stirring the pot for 30 seconds, we will have a top kibble. This one is preferred by these creatures, and be very careful because remember that going to the net and the swamp are very dangerous locations. Entering the haute cuisine, we are going to use a focal chili. This is its recipe and it is made from an industrial cauldron or pot, and you will have to wait for about 1 minute until the saucer comes out. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're going to have to go back to the swamp because we're going to need florara, not for the trees, but rather for the bushes around. You can use your hands or a mount, as you can see in this table. The largest dinosaurs on the island obviously produce extra large eggs. These, when mixed with a seal, chili, a rare flower, 10 best berry, 5 fiber, and 1 water purposefully, 30 seconds of cooking later will give us an exceptional kibbeles. Preferred by these creatures, and the only thing that complicates this recipe is the focal chili. For the last team, we will use an item that is very tedious to work with. We will use giant bee honey, and those who have already dealt with this will know that it rots very quickly. Getting the nut is very easy unless you have a sifted queen bee. We will also use a stew, which is known as Lazarus soup, and here is its recipe. You can see it is a little more complicated to make than focal chili, but it still takes 1 minute to make in the cauldron. These dinos are that drop special eggs. And be careful with the sperornis because only the golden egg will serve us when mixing a special egg, a little bottle of honey, a Lazarus soup, 10 mejoberry, 5 fiber, and 1 skin of water. With a little patience, we will have the extraordinary quibble that is preferred by these few marginalized people who feel special unicorns. Remember that if you don't want to use the cauldron, you can use the industrial pot that unlocks. Level 89 is manufactured from a portable factory or manufacturer, and these are its manufacturing materials. As for the manufacturer, it unlocks at level 48. It is made from a blacksmith shop, and these are its manufacturing materials. These 2 machines run on gasoline that you can make from a forge by adding skin oil and some type of fuel, whether it's match, wood, straw, or whatever you want. To place the pot, you need to have a foundation, a hose tube, and the industrial pot can be placed there. If this pipe is connected to water, the pot will begin to absorb water and you will not need to use water skins or bottles. I recommend using this, as its name says, only when you are going to make things industrially, since this cooks much faster than a simple cauldron would absorb resources, as you have no idea. Now this is a very interesting test because I read it on the wiki. And I want to check if it works or not here on ARK Mobile. As you can see in the background here, I have 4 level 450 mammoths unconscious and with food at zeros. We are going to use 3 different types of kibbles for each one of them, and I also tweak bears to see which one tames faster, which has better taming efficiency, and if I would use a larger or smaller kibble. Reality influences the type of domestication. We are going to give this first dino better berries, and in what he eats, let me tell you that mammoths ingest higher quality kibble for the next test subject. We are going to give him regular kibble or normal kibble, and from first impressions we can see that he gets less food than the one who is being fed mejoberry. To the third subject, we are going to give the kibble preferred by the species, which is the upper kibble. And we can see that the capacity and the speed at which this Tameo bar goes up is very fast. And for the last subject, we will feed it with exceptional kibble, which is above the top kibble. And apparently he's eating exactly as fast as his favorite kibble. And after a while, we have the mammoth that was fed with their favorite kibble and a top kibble have not only the same taming efficiency, but also the same levels and took the same time. Whereas we can see that the mammoth that was fed with a lower kibble or the normal kibble is raising its food bar very quickly, and the Tameo bar is still very low. And the one being fed major berries is going pretty well, going slow, sure, at its own pace. And with this experiment, we confirm that if we have a superior kibble than we need, we can offer it to the dino if we have a better inferior one. Domesticate it with berries if they are herbivores, and with meat if they are carnivores. Since using a kibble lower than what the species needs is going to affect a lot, both those final levels, domestication time, and most importantly narcotics that you should not spend on a domestication, taking into account that a kibble is not cheap to produce. I sincerely hope that you liked the video, that you loved the most important thing, that it taught you 1 or more tricks about kibbles. If so, give me a good like. Subscribe if you are not, and without more than adding, see you and